What if I told you you can find a way to replace small parts or things that you might need on a short notice just by getting one single device? One thing that you can get is a 3D printer. Now, a 3D printer is what it sounds like. It prints things in 3D and you can find things online that will help you. So why am I talking about it in this video? Well, because if you have things like lens caps or battery holders or brackets that you need, like things that hold your devices like a T7 SSD or like a phone, for example, these things are gonna cost you money. And if you know, on Amazon even, some of these phone clips or holders, unless you really care about it being metal or some kind of specific material, are decently expensive. I'd say at least 30 bucks when they're made of plastic and they feel like they can break pretty easily. My solution, which allows you to make things quickly, reasonably, and also very, very low priced, is the 3D printer. Personally, I got the Ender 3 and I got this because I wanted to make things, whether it be, Lego people, toys, or again, camera stuff. So with the cost of PLA for like a 1 kilogram spool, I'll put a picture of one Amazon listing so you can get an idea of roughly how much it costs. It's not that expensive. And if you consider that this is one spool that can make a lot of different things, especially if it's not crazy big, like, you're making like cosplay armor or something, that's something that's going to save you a lot of money in the long run. And especially if you are worried about things getting lost or broken, these things are going to save you, again, like a lot of money. And if you do want to go this way too, you can also make things to sell. So if you know how to work with 3D printers or you really want to get into it, using a 3D printer is going to allow you to sell things to photographers, videographers, or again, anything you want. I had a whole client that made toys and tools and cosplay stuff, and that was their whole thing. They had like 8 3D printers of different brands and they sold it, and they've sold some decent ones and they're really, really cool. And even things like this, which are clips for putting onto stands, you can even make this off of 3D printing. I'm pretty sure this was 3D printed, and you just have to add springs and a few other things, and these things won't even cost that much when you make them. So your overall investment might be a lot upfront. Like a 3D printer, especially the Enders and stuff, are about $300. But again, if you sell stuff, or if you again save the money for things that you're making, you are technically making that money back. And I think that's a really good investment because you are just able to do a lot with it. And kind of a side note, if you want to create a whole business on this, there's plenty of anything I've seen on Indiegogo or Kickstarter, which the design or the product starts off with a 3D print, and then it suddenly prototypes more and more 3D print, and then suddenly they make the actual thing in metal or something like that. So these are great things for even if you want to try out making a product or making something that will help people, or for yourself even. I do think that getting a 3D printer will be beneficial to you as a photographer or videographer, because you are probably going to end up losing or breaking things a lot, especially considering how many pieces go into a camera itself, even just the lens caps alone. You might want to save money and the time as well. The one thing I will say to just be aware of is that some things when you make them, they might be stringy or they might not have things. So you might not want to maybe use them in a certain way. So lens caps are the only thing that if you know how to make, I recommend you do it. If you don't know how to make it and it's going to be all stringy and, not solid, you might want to stray away from that because you don't want to get things in your sensor. Just something to keep in mind as you learn and practice how to use a 3D printer. You'll be able to make a lot of cool things that'll allow you to get a lot of use out of it. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please hit the like button, subscribe down below so you can see more of my videos. If you want to follow me on TikTok, Instagram, or any other social media, be right over here. And I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.